In all seriousness, even though it wasn't as important to me, it was pretty cool when not long after that, you got your first action figure and crossed it off our list.
But the fact we had different priorities is partly what made this work, because let's be honest, if we'd been competing for the same things, I'm not sure we could have been friends. You were just always so driven to be the best.
Maybe, but it's not like I was only focused on individual goals. Like, what about when we went to SmackDown Live and I ended up teaming with someone who was a great influence and mentor to me? I'm talking about Mickie James, of course! Stand up and take a bow, Mickie, you deserve it. You fought hard, but it just wasn't your night.
Let's face it, it hasn't been your night in a long time. Now, as general manager of SmackDown Live, it's my job to present a cutting-edge product, which means constantly introducing new talent to keep our brand fresh and exciting. But we can't add new talent without making subtractions. So I'm sorry, Mickie, but based on your recent performance, you can either announce your retirement or, unfortunately, I'll have to make that decision for you.
Wait, so you're basically forcing her out? She deserves better than that.
I understand where you're coming from, but like I said, this is bigger than one person. It's about protecting the brand.
There would be no brand without women like Mickie James.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I've been doing this a long time, and maybe I've lost a step. Maybe it's just time to hang it up.
No, you can't just accept this. There has to be another way.
Well, there is one other option, but it would just be delaying the inevitable. Mickie can continue competing on SmackDown Live, as long as she wins. But the very next match she loses is her last.
She'll do it.
I will?
All right. Good luck.
Look, I appreciate the support, but with my record as of late, I don't think I'll be sticking around too long.
Or maybe you will with me by your side.
What do you mean?
Big Show didn't say you had to win singles matches.
Are you sure you want to set aside your own goals to do this?
There's nothing I'd rather do than protect your legacy by sending you out on a winning streak. And one last title run. Win women's tag team championships with Mickie James.
Welcome everyone to the most iconic talk show ever, Iconic Talk, with your hosts,
The Iconics.
We just said iconic so many times.
You said it again. I think we just set a record.
Speaking of records, I want to remind everyone that we are now the longest running women's tag team champions ever from Australia.
They're also the only women's tag team champions from Australia.
Which brings us to my favorite segment of Iconic Talk.
It's time for Why Australia is Better.
This is the part of the show where we educate our audience on different aspects of Australian culture and explain
Why Australia is better.
Okay, what do we have this week?
The great sport of cricket.
Which has nothing to do with filthy little insects.
No, it's actually a sport that is very popular in Australia.
Think of it like a way better version of your horrible, dull baseball.
To further educate you on this superior sport, let's go over the laws of cricket, shall we?
There are only 42 of them. Shouldn't take long.
Law 1. A cricket team consists of 11 players, including a captain.
That's a great law, one of my favourites. Now, Law 2.
Hey, what are these two doing out here? There were still 41 laws to go. I wanted to learn more about cricket.
I think you were the only one.
Law 2. The Iconics should never be allowed to have a talk show, as it'll put everyone watching to sleep.
That's not an actual law.
Yeah, don't listen to her.
Why are you two even out here?
It's very rude to interrupt someone's talk show. I recommend you go back and watch the segment we did on manners.
We're here because we want a tag team championship match.
So you two are a team now. What are you calling yourselves?
red and grey?
Because Mickey's so old. Get it?
Hilarious. She really is a fossil.
You've never even teamed before, so what makes you think you deserve a shot at our titles?
Maybe because 8 years ago in Calgary, I beat you in my very first match, and I've only gotten better since then. Way better.
Oh, okay. So you're saying since a long time ago, I felt bad for my pathetic opponent and basically took the night off because I was freezing, that a decade later, when that pathetic opponent rears her ugly head with an elderly partner, they deserve a tag title opportunity? Makes sense?
That was sarcasm. The answer is no.
If you think that we need to prove ourselves as a team, then we'll do it right now in a non-title match. If we win, we get a championship match. And if you win my career.
That whole career-ending stipulation is enticing.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It would be nice to put her out to pasture.
We'll do it.
But only after we finish teaching everyone about cricket.
Law 3. Never interrupt the Iconics.
The Iconics viciously attack Red and Mickey with those cricket bats.
And rightfully so, they violated Law 3.
Red and Mickey are going to be at a severe disadvantage going into this match with so much at stake.
If you're just joining us, this is a non-title match with this.
1, 2, 3. They did it!
Here are your winners, the Queen and Mickey James.
You heard the ring announcer. This one's over. And here's your winner.
These women make an almost unstoppable pairing, Michael.
I'd be curious to see how this win impacts the rest of the tag team division.
That was awesome! And considering our lack of experience together, I'd say we make a pretty good team.
I agree. I mean, you know what? I just want to say thank you for doing this. I could be sitting at home right now, but instead we have a chance to win the tag team championships. And even if my career does end, this is a heck of a way to go out.
Before you celebrate too much, we just found out your tag title match will be taking place on our home turf.
That's right, in our great country, in front of our fans at Super Showdown.
It doesn't matter. We'll beat you anywhere.
Oh, you should also know it's going to be an Australian rules tag match, which are the most iconic rules.
What does that even mean?
It means it'll be no disqualification, tornado tag.
Or willy willy tag, as we say down under.
Hey Mickey, you should pack an extra week of clothes. You know, so you can go on holiday in Australia after we end your career.
We'll call our grandparents and see if they know of any good senior resorts.
Remember, guys, the title is on the line here in this one.
And I don't remember the last time the champ was in this much jeopardy, Cole. Tonight might just be the night the title changes hands.
A big opportunity for her here, Corey, as the gold could be going home with her tonight.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that tonight is the night we crown a new champion. That's how impressed I've been by her of late.
From Richmond, Virginia, Mickey James.
Seeing Mickey James make her way to the ring, it's amazing that over the course of her career, she's never lost that love of competition or her infectious, peppy attitude for even a second.
Mickey's still chasing titles and enjoying the adoration of the WWE Universe. Like all the in-ring greats, she has that never-say-die spirit that just can't be held down.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, the Iconics.
Corey, what do you think of the champ's chances here tonight?
I love them. I'm not like everybody else, Cole. It seems like everybody's ready to write the champ's demise, but not me.
On the line of the Tag Team Championships, teams in their respective corners going over final strategies. You have to believe the Iconics have a major advantage here. Red goes for the Irish whip, but gets sent into the corner instead.
And now here come the Iconics, pouring it on in front of their home crowd. This does not look good for Red and Mickey, and by extension, Mickey's career.
What are the Iconics doing?
Oh, I think it's time for a game of cricket.
Red and Mickey have other plans.
This is a bit of revenge for what took place before their match on SmackDown Live.
And since Australian rules is no disqualification, it's perfectly legal.
Set up for the leg sweep. Quickly into the cover with the title on the line.
Champion.
Not only has Red helped Mickie James ward off retirement, they're now the new Women's Tag Team Champions.
To win this match under the pressure they faced and do it in enemy territory under the Iconics rules is truly impressive.
Honestly, I think a lot of credit goes to Red and her list. Someone said it before the match, that list is a powerful motivational tool for Red.
Yeah, that someone was me, Corey.
Nah, it couldn't have been you. It probably was Cole.
And that's how Mickie James went from being a hero and mentor of mine to more than that. She was now my tag team partner and, more importantly, my friend.
Aw, that's nice. But aren't you skipping over a pretty important part?
How about we move on? Don't you want to talk about when you were on the cover of WWE 2K25?
I do, but hang on a second. Earlier, you put me on blast for having some trivial goals. So now it's my turn to call you out for a time when you let the list steer you down a questionable path. This is a night to remember our careers, good and bad.
Fine. If you want to talk about it so much, then you tell the story.
Okay. After they became tag team champions, it turned everything around for Mickie. She even ended up earning a SmackDown Live Women's Championship opportunity against Kairi Sane.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Here comes Mickie James.
I think it's safe to say that Mickie James is one of the most distinguished superstars we've ever seen in women's competition.
I'd go beyond that to say in any competition. The pile of accolades she's collected stacked on top of her veteran experience makes her one of the most respected competitors in the ring today, period.
I second that, Cole. It's amazing to think back on everything that Mickie's accomplished, and here she is, still dealing out pain and keeping pace with the best of this generation. carrying the title in a treasure chest. You think Buddy Rogers or Bruno Sammartino would ever do something like that?
Well, they didn't have a treasure chest, did they, Corey?
Believe it or not, guys, some are saying that the champion comes into tonight's match as the underdog.
I don't know if I'd go that far, Cole. Yes, the opposition looks steep, but this is the champ we're talking about.
Introducing the challenger, from Richmond, Virginia, Mickie James! And introducing the champion, from Yamaguchi, Japan, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Kairi Sane!
We're about to see which woman rules the landscape around here.
Ever since Mickie James teamed with Red and won the tag team
Spiking DDT.
Here's the pin. Title on the line.
1, 2, 3.
The unbelievable streak continues. Mickie James is now one half of the tag team champions and your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. Somehow, Mickie continues to defy the odds. It's like every time she's backed into a corner, she somehow finds a new way to escape. Congratulations, Mickie. You earned every bit of this.
I feel like you've been a little off lately. You're moody, quick to lash out, overly judgmental about my decisions.
It all sounds like typical me.
Maybe those weren't the best examples, but I've known you long enough to realize when something's bothering you.
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of getting impatient. I mean, teaming with Mickie has been fun, but I never thought it would last this long, and I definitely didn't see her singles title run happening. Now I'm basically waiting for someone to beat her so I can go after the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. I've been dying to cross that off.
Some might say you're a bit too focused on the list.
Who's some? Are you some?
Look, if you want my advice, I see two ways for you to get what you want. But the first option wouldn't be very honorable.
What do you mean?
If you and Mickie were to somehow lose your tag titles, then Mickie would be forced to retire and vacate her women's title, leaving you free to pursue it. Option number two, the more straight-up way of doing things, would be for you to tell Mickie exactly how you feel and challenge her to a match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, potentially crossing that off the list. But if you beat her, you'd also lose the tag titles and worse, end the career of your idol/friend.
I don't really love either option.
This business forces you to make some tough decisions. But at least you're not choosing between competing in a tag title match or saving your mangled ear like Mick Foley once had to do.
No, but if losing my ear was option 3, I'd think I'd take it.
The alternative is just waiting around for something to happen, and who knows how long that could take.
You're right. I guess I should... Hey, Mickie. I need to talk to you about something. It's kind of personal, sorry.
We'll catch up later. What's going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah, well, not really. It's just lately... I'll just come out and say it. I want your title. And I know what that means for you and for us, but I don't think I can sit back any longer.
You know what? I was waiting for this moment.
You were?
Look, I know who you are, what you're made of, what got you here. You're driven to be the very best. And I knew that being tag team champions would only satisfy you for so long.
So you don't hate me?
No, I get it. I actually respect you for your honesty. I can think of a couple other ways this could have gone down.
But if I beat you, it's all over.
If it's going to come to an end, and it will, sooner rather than later, I want you to be the one that does it. Besides, none of this would have even happened if it wasn't for you. But with all that said, I've come too far to just roll over. If you face me for my title, you better be ready for a fight.
You know me. I wouldn't want it any other way.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
It's a big-time opportunity, Byron, as the title will be on the line here.
You're right, Michael, and judging from the response on social media heading into this match, we're likely to see a new champ crowned here tonight.
Guys, this is without a doubt a potentially career-altering opportunity for her here tonight.
And at the risk of being a glass half-empty type of guy, it could also be a career-deflating opportunity. If she doesn't win the title tonight, there's no telling when or if her next title match will even come.
You know, when you think headline, a pay-per-view, who do you think of?
This woman right here.
Mickie James! A six-time champion. Well, Mickie James is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that. She's accomplished it all in her career. One of the most bubbly personalities in WWE history, Mickie James.
Not to mention, great country singer. I've got it on my playlist.
You do?
I do.
That's pretty awesome. Months ago, Red essentially resuscitated. It's been a phenomenal championship match. Who will win? Who's going home with the title? Mickie James appears to be on her last legs.
I'm sorry.
Red hits the Mick kick. Is this the end for Mickie James?
It's all over. Red is your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. And as a result, Mickie James' historic career has come to an end.
Red ended Mickie's career with her own move. What a true friend.
I think it was actually a sign of respect to do it that way.
Yeah, it was almost like a tribute.
You know, it would have been a good tribute, continuing to defend the tag championship and not ending your idol's career.
You deserve this moment.
A nice gesture from our new champion, Red, giving Mickie James a chance to say goodbye to the WWE Universe.
And no matter how I feel about Red right now, I do want to say thank you to Mickie James. You will be missed.
Thank you, Mickie.